Well, all right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Ambassador of Southern Rock channel. I'm your host with the most. Well, that's very cliche. But anyway, I'm your host, Michael Buffalo Smith, publisher and editor of the Kudzu magazine. You may recognize the guys behind me. I don't know. If you don't, then you shouldn't even be listening to this. I want to welcome my buddy again. It's getting to be a habit. It's a habit, but it's better than drugs. It's my buddy from North Carolina. His name is Rebel, but his given name is Dwayne Fields. Every time I say Dwayne, I think about that show, What's Happening, back in the 70s. Dwayne. Hey, Dwayne. But we know him as Rebel with a Y, just like Lynyrd Skynyrd with Y's, so there's got to be a connection there, I would think. In fact, first time I met this guy, I could tell just from talking to him that he was one of the biggest fans of the band Lynyrd Skynyrd. And when I say the band Lynyrd Skynyrd, I mean the band Lynyrd Skynyrd with this guy behind me, Ronnie Van Zant. Not these.
He was Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah, not the guys parading around under the name Lynyrd Skynyrd.
The Gary Rossington Review.
It's not the Gary and Ricky show. Although those guys have their, sure, they have talent. But Lynyrd Skynyrd to me was Ronnie, and it was just Ronnie. As my buddy Artemis Pyle will tell you, it was Ronnie Van Zant.
Yeah, he said if you're out there listening to a band that's called Lynyrd Skynyrd and Ronnie Van Zant's not up there on that stage, it's not Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah. I would like to think that one person would be an advocate of Michael Buffalo Smith after I've shuffled off this moral coil, even half as much as Artemis Pyle is for Ronnie, because he preaches the gospel of Ronnie Van Zant. Always has. Every picture, every autograph has got a bird and an RVZ on it. I mean,
and a free bird.
Yeah, free bird. That's what I'm saying. And he says nothing but great things about Ronnie, and I think that's a good friend right there, man. It really is. Speaking of Lynyrd Skynyrd, and don't you think we should? Me and Rebel, what we want to do today is we want to talk about 10 great songs by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Now, I want to preface it by saying that we decided we're not going to do the overplayed Lynyrd Skynyrd songs because everybody loves Freebird, everybody loves Sweet Home, Give Me Three Steps, you know, the things that you hear on
we did a
classic
top
rock.
5, it would probably be the same song for both of us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you know, and since Freebird's probably the most, I would say probably the most popular Southern rock song of all time. Uh, well, not only Freebird, but Sweet Home Alabama. Then you got your Can't You See and your Whipping Post and all that in there too. But if you ask a layman, you know, what's the best Southern rock song ever, they're going to say Freebird. I mean, kind of goes without saying. So we're going to do other songs. I just want to say that so that when you write your comments and everything, you'll understand that. Please don't say, "How come y'all didn't put Freebird in there?" Well, that's why. That's the only reason. I also want to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel. We've been getting more subscriptions and we love it. And the more the merrier. And you'll be the first, among the first. All the subscribers know from the minute that I post a new video, they've got an email telling them that it's available. And hey, it can't get any easier than that. And we'll never sell your information or trade it for drugs.
Or
We
beer.
we won't trade it for beer. We won't trade it for sex. Well, maybe, maybe. And somebody goes, "Hey, if you give me Rebel's email address, I'll give you." Well, here it is. Here it is, right here, right to that little codger. He's our own Bilbo Baggins. Rebel is. He's about the same size as Bilbo Baggins, if you guys remember from Tolkien. About 3 feet tall and hairy. I mean, I assume he's hairy. He hides his hair under his hat, just like a. Every time I think about Rebel, I think about that song "Uneasy Rider" that Charlie Daniels did. Cut his hair up under his hat and went in. You'll probably never see him let his hair down, but let me tell you, it's up under there hiding, and it'll freak you right out.
I think our last video it was down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't remember. I mean, between doing this and doing the weekly podcast with the other three heathens that I do it with, it's like and the magazine and everything, it's all starts to run together. All right, folks, we're going to do it. We're going to just talk about Rebels picked 5 and I've picked 5, and we're just going to talk about why we think that they're great Skynyrd songs. First thing I've got a question. Well, it's not the first thing. When he gets through with his, I'm going to ask him about why he didn't put one song in there. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I'm trying to think now what song that could be.
Do what?
I'm trying to think what song that could be.
Well, you always talk about it. I mean, it wasn't an original Skynyrd song, but
that was a stipulation.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Nobody told me the rules. Nobody told me the rules. But that's good because I don't think. Let me see. Yeah, all mine are originals. Well, they didn't do that many covers. Really. I'm gonna let you go first. You go ahead and talk about one of yours and tell us as much as you can.
I started to do Same Old Blues, and I realized it was a J.J. Cale song.
Oh.
So that didn't make the list. My number one on the list was it's off the Bounced album. And well, all of mine really kind of showcased their country bluesy side more so than their southern rock. I mean, it is southern rock, but it's just all these are like roots songs. And my first one is being Mississippi Kid. Got my pistols in my pockets, boys. I'm Alabama bound. First time I heard that, I thought it was a real catchy. I think it's the mandolin at the very first of it and through the song. Uh, and Ronnie just nails it. Did you lose audio?
Oh, sorry, folks. I was on mute.
You were. I didn't know whether you were chewing or talking.
Same thing. No. I was like, what I kept saying, and I was on mute. I muted myself because you can't eat a piece of combos, which I love combos. You can't eat one of those and crunch on the microphone. It doesn't work that way. As you reminded me months ago, of course, you thought I was having crab legs. That would have been really good. Anyway, okay, so I get my first one is kind of falls into the hit category, but I said, well, if I don't ever hear it on the local classic rock radio station, which I rarely listen to anyway, but anyway, I still love the song "Give Me Back My Bullets." Yeah, and it's just I don't know, I can never get tired of that. It's just that good, and a lot of people will have heard that tune, but. And I guess any diehard fan knows what it's really about is not bullets, but chart positions on the Billboard.
And I read somewhere that they had to quit playing it in concert because every time Ronnie would sing the line, "Give me back
throw bullets on
bombard him with 38 special bullets."
Yeah. I read that too. And the road crew that cleaned the stage, they had just a huge supply of ammo, which is pretty good. I mean, because that stuff costs money. Anyway, bullets, and go on to your next one.
My next one is, like I said, all of mine are related to roots music. This one's off of Nothing Fancy. It's I think Merle Haggard would have been proud of it. Railroad Song, which I think he even mentions Jimmy Rogers and Merle Haggard in the song. First time I heard that, I thought it was one of the greatest songs they ever did.
Man, it is. It is. It's a great song. Well, my autocorrect changed one of my songs. I just realized it. It says the song is called "Down South Hiking." It's actually called "Down South Juking," and I'm looking for some peace of mind. Oh, I still love that song. That's a good one, man. "Down South Juking." Yeah. There you go. You know what? I'm actually, I'm looking at the wrong list, Rebel. I'm reading off of my, I thought, I like it, but I don't like that much. Bullets and Down South Jukin are actually in my honorable mentions. So, sorry, folks. No wonder I'm so confused, people. Please forgive me. I'm going to go back and tell you what my top two are. My first one was "All I Can Do Is Write About It."
Yeah, you stole that from me.
I stole it from Scott Green. Scott Green's favorite song ever.
That's my all-time favorite Skynyrd song. And a lot of people
Yeah.
say, "Oh, come it's not Freebird or Sweet Home." I said, "Well, you got to listen to the song." I mean, that
All
has
I
a
can
lot
do
to
is
do
write
with
it in a
me. But
song, and you know that's the thing about Ronnie Van Zant was he wrote about whatever was happening in his life at that time, and then that song there is basically about how he wrote about things that were happening in his life. I mean, I don't forgot who told me, but somebody we were discussing it one time, and somebody said you can listen to the songs that Ronnie Van Zant wrote through, chronologically, and it's kind of like his life story from the time
yeah,
they started the band up until his untimely death.
like
So
I can really relate to that song because I was born right here, and I may have said this before, but the area, the little place where we live here is everybody used to be related and were cousins, and it was just woods everywhere. The roads were dirt roads, and we had a creek we went fishing in, and just played out in the side ditches of the dirt road. Just and now that was 40 years ago, and now the road's paved. A lot of the woods are gone. The creek's been dredged out. There's no fish in it, and from the highway, the main highway, about 6 miles from here, there's housing developments getting closer
yeah,
and
you see
closer
the
and
concrete
closer.
slowly creeping.
Concrete slowly creeping. I see it, and it. I don't know if it'll get here in my lifetime, but
Headed that way.
yeah,
Yep. Scott talks about that a lot. You know that Lord take me in mind before that comes. It's just people who just love Scott, me too. We just love you know the country life and the simplicity of everything, and it just you, some people will say, "Oh, you guys just don't like change." Well, no, I like change, but positive change,
yeah.
not negative change.
And like I
Um,
said, everybody in this little holler used to know everybody. You know, you ride by, you knew the vehicle. Now people ride by, I don't know who they are. People live across the way, I don't know who they are. Hell, they may not even be here but a year or two, and then they're gone.
yeah,
And and the ones that's got roots here deep like I do have been here all their lives, and that's just uh, probably three families right now. But it is what it is.
yeah, yeah.
Nothing I can do to change it.
Well,
I can't even write a song about it.
my other one, that was my number 5, and so I'm really to catch up with you. I got to do number 4 too, which is Tuesday's Gone, and everybody in the house that's listening to this, raise your hand if you know who played drums on that song. Wait, I'm raising my hand.
I'm probably wrong, but go ahead.
Robert Nix from the Atlanta Rhythm
Right.
section.
That's right.
And it just ended up that way that he was in the studio and Artemis wasn't. So he laid down the drum track and ended up being on a Skinner song. It's pretty cool.
And the harmonica was played by
Well, see, I don't know. Jimmy Hall, I guess.
Roosevelt Gook,
Roosevelt.
aka Al Cooper.
Oh, Al Cooper. Al Cooper, of
He's
course.
credited
Yeah.
on he's credited on the album as Roosevelt Gook.
He's all over a lot of Skinner with his organ playing too. So, well, yeah. How many of you named now?
Two.
Okay, and I've named 2. So good. You go on with your third.
Um, my third is off of Pronounced Again. And I don't play guitar. I tried to learn years and years ago, but my little fingers are just too short and stubby to do it. But I did learn the opening intro to this song, and I still remember it. I could play it right. Just the opening, not the rest of it, just the opening. It's things going on that you don't know,
Oh,
which pertains to this day and age, word for word almost. And
yeah.
it's just a really rootsy, bluesy song, and I've always loved that. Always loved that song.
Me too. Me too. I like that a lot. Well, I'll
He
tell
did
you.
a slower version of it on Legend.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that's
really
true.
slowed down bluesy, and it didn't even sound like Ronnie singing it, but it was. I guess it was, but he must have augmented his voice or something. But it was the same song, same tune, but it was totally different sounding.
Well, I'll go back to that guitar thing. Back in high school, I approached a guitar player and I told him, I said, I want to play the guitar so badly. I want to learn how to do that. He says, well, Michael, you'll never be able to because your fingers are too short and stubby. So I wheeled my fingers to be longer and ended up playing guitar.
Yeah.
It's the truth. That's very true. I was like, well, no, I'm going to make it work. And I just kept fooling with the guitar, and it seemed like my fingers got longer. And that was, when I was in the 11th grade. I don't know how it happened, but it did. Uh, so my next song is you know, I said I was basically saying no hits, but and some of these are kind of hits, but I just love that smell.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily love that smell. I just love the song That Smell. I don't like the smell of death, no. But once again,
Truth
uh,
be told, I'd rather hear that smell right now than Freebird.
yeah,
That's
me
a
too.
complex song to me. It, it was nothing like they'd ever done before.
You got a
Ever.
monkey on your back.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it seems to me that song might have been written about Alan Collins's auto wreck.
And
Uh,
Gary's.
yeah,
They happened on the same day, didn't they? Labor
I'm
Day.
not sure. I can't say definitively because a lot of things that I knew I've forgotten.
Because one of them wrapped their car around an oak tree.
Yeah, I believe it was Alan. Uh,
And I think that's why, if you look at one of his eyes, it looks kind of. I think that's somebody told me one time that's come from that wreck.
yeah, I think so. And his is it a girlfriend or wife? One died.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
that was later on, wasn't it? That was the one that paralyzed him.
might be. See, now I cannot claim to know uh, the definitive history of Lynyrd Skynyrd like I do Marshall Tucker and Allman Brothers, but
I think the one that put him in the wheelchair was his wife or girlfriend. She got killed in that car wreck. He was in so many. I mean,
yeah, he started really going downhill after that. Uh, yeah, that was something else. Uh, yeah, well, that's my third one is Ooh, That Smell. So you're up.
okay, my next one is it's off Nothing Fancy, and it's right back to the roots again. Uh, you got it made in the shade, girl. Don't let that tree fall down on you. Well, he says at the very beginning of it, when I was a young and they used to teach us to play music like this right here, just always loved that song too. That's
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. The
I think most of mine are more tilted towards country and, like I said, roots than rock and roll.
yeah. Well, like you said too, blues.
Yeah, blues.
The this next one of mine, I taught the guys in my band back in the early '90s into playing it so I could sing it. I just dearly loved the sound of this song being played by a 5-piece band. It's a song called "On the Hunt." I just love that song. That's one
Great
I
song.
never get tired of. "On the Hunt." Uh, just like a you baby. Yeah,
Who you
yeah, and
are,
they,
and I know what they call you, girl.
yeah, like a woman and a horse, and both of them you ride. Boy, yeah, couldn't say that these days, man.
A horse knee and a woman, Lord.
Yeah, it was On the Hunt. It's a great one, and well, I guess we're up to your
I
last
think we're
one,
at number 5 right now, or number 1, whichever way you're going.
depending on which
Yeah,
way you're going.
you were going in all directions a while ago.
Yeah, and I usually do.
But like I said, these are in no particular order. These are just 5 songs that I love that are not hits that just really mean something to me.
Yeah.
This one's going to jump ahead to Street Survivors. Uh, I wanted to include That Smell, but that was it. Gets I don't think any of mine ever get any airplay, and they may not have got any airplay when they were released. I don't know, uh, but I never dreamed off of Street Survivors.
Ah.
That was a great song, and I'm not sure if it was recorded at the time of Street Survivors or it was put in as filler. I know there was 1 or 2 songs on there um, that were put in as filler because Ricky Medlock plays the drums on one of them. Uh, Lord, I can't think of the other one. But I stumped JoJo Billingsley one time on that. I told her I got the autograph of a Skynyrd Street Survivors 8-track that I found years and years and years after they discontinued it. And I was telling her I got all the autographs of the actual plane crash survivors. And well, actually, the survivors that played on it. And I told her I got Ricky Medlock's autograph on it. And she's like, Ricky didn't play on Street Survivors. I said, well, yeah, he did. And I told her it was either I Never Dreamed or One More Time. I think it
Yeah.
was I Never Dreamed.
Recorded earlier.
Yeah, it was. It was. I think it was from like what was it? The Quimby sessions,
Muscle Shoals.
maybe Emotional Shows. It was one of them that they put in there as filler. And she goes, you're absolutely right. Yes.
Well, there you go. Stumping JoJo on the next show. Yeah.
She was a
The
sweet lady, very sweet lady.
I miss Joe a lot. We got to be close, and the Reverend JoJo.
Reverend JoJo.
Man, yeah, what a sweetheart. The well, once again, like you said, mine aren't 5-4, 5-1, or 1-5. They're just 5 songs, 5 good songs. But this last one also came from Street Survivors, and it's also another Skynyrd song that I I can listen to. I could listen to it every day, and it's Ronnie Van Zant trading vocals with Steve Gaines on "You Got That Right." Sure, I got that right.
That was a breath of fresh air when they did it.
Man, yeah, that sure was. That album, I remember buying that album. I was so excited about it. I swear it seemed like just a matter of days between the time I bought that album and saw them at Greenville Auditorium. And then all of a sudden, the rest. Ronnie was dead, and several of them were dead. Steve, uh, it's crazy. I mean, they just had. I think that album was ready to be maybe their biggest album yet.
It was totally different than the previous albums.
Yeah,
Uh, I think Ronnie had said at one time that Steve got in there, and the other guitarists were kind of got to where they were playing mediocre, and said Steve lit a fire under their ass.
yeah, that's
But he got a lot of
true.
fire.
He could light a fire. Well, I know we both got a couple of honorable mentions. If you want to toss those out, go
Well,
ahead.
you've already done yours.
Well, I did two of them, not all of them.
I only did two. Well, actually, I did three. Uh, Off of "Give Me Back My Bullets," it's "Roll Gypsy Roll." Most of the money I done stuck up my nose.
Uh,
Roll Gypsy. I don't think I've ever heard that on the radio,
probably not.
and it's got a good catchy tune to it, and lyrics are pretty good. Of course,
Nobody ever accused radio of playing good stuff.
no, especially this day and age.
Well, just give all yours at once.
Okay, and another one. This one's off of Nothing Fancy. Also, I think Nothing Fancy was more of a roots bluesy album altogether. And that song is "Am I Losing?"
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes. As people I have known in my lifetime, that for whatever reason, you're good friends, and then all of a sudden you drift apart, and you don't really know why. And of course, mine had never been because of money, but
Huh.
I've always loved that song, especially at the end when the music stops and Ronnie says, "Tell me, people." That is, I love it, love it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Really is.
And my last honorable mention, uh, you did the duet with Ronnie and Steve, and I think this song here is the only the third song that Skinner ever did that Ronnie did not sing vocals on. I know early on, Ricky Medlock sang uh, White Dove and the Seasons, that Ronnie wasn't even involved in the vocals. And on Street Survivors, Ain't No Good Life is all Steve Gaines.
Yeah.
Ronnie sets that one out. And that's a great song, great blues song.
Well, Artemis told me one time that he said, that Ronnie really must have had the deepest respect for Steve Gaines.
I have read that often that he really respected Steve.
He never, Ronnie never turned the microphone over on stage to anybody else
Mm-hmm.
to sing except Steve. And they never, had another guy do lead vocals, uh, you know, other than, if you go all the way back, Muscle Shoals sessions and Medlock and all that, it was a different time then. But yeah, yeah. Well,
I read somewhere once that the way he got into band was they were auditioning guitarist, and Cassie kept bugging the hell out of Ronnie about letting her little brother have a shot. Let it audition him, and they were like, yeah, well, maybe so, whatever.
yeah,
Kept putting her off, and finally they were doing a show, I think somewhere close to Oklahoma, and Ronnie finally said, "All right, get him up here, and we'll give him a try." And she told him he'd come to the show, and they were going to bring him out to do a song during the show. And Ronnie had told the sound man that if he gets up there and sounds like shit, turn him down. Let him play, but turn him down. And he got up there and blew them away. And within 2 weeks, he was the next guitarist in Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah, yeah. He was pretty amazing. Somewhere amongst my archives, I've got a bootleg called "Teaching an Okie to Fly," and they're in the living room. And Yes, I think Alan and Gary, and they're teaching the guitar parts to Steve, and they're cutting up and laughing and everything like that. And it's like, I think everybody was amazed that they just show him something one time, and then he would not only play it, but he'd play it better than they played it.
Yeah.
It's like, so yeah, it was really good, really, really good. My honorable mentions, already mentioned a couple of them. I'll say it again. Give Me Back My Bullets was a favorite, and Down South Jukin', and also a couple more that I always loved was one called I Know a Little. I know a
It's
little
a
about
dog with a hard
love.
fight.
Yeah, baby, I can guess the rest. And then the last one that I'm gonna mention, we just have to mention the Ballad of Curtis Lowe,
Oh, yeah.
and
Everybody loved that song.
it just yeah, that's one of my. It should be more than just an honorable mention, but it kind of fell into that category of songs that do get some radio airplay.
Yeah, you used to hear it on the radio once in a while. I
Used to,
well,
I hadn't heard
I
it
can't
lately.
say still do because I don't listen to FM radio, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm not a fan of cla- classic rock radio. I mean, I've had that discussion with a lot of radio people and
You
all
could,
like that. It just, they play the same songs because it's who the corporate sponsors want them to play the biggest possible hits over and over again. Supposedly that gets some the bigger audience, but I mean, it
I don't
surely
see it.
doesn't get people like us that want to hear something different.
No,
It gets people who just say, "Hey man, turn on the radio. They'll be playing Freebird." Just
or I
turn on
can't
the
stop
radio.
the
They'll be playing
vibe.
Stairway to Heaven and Freebird.
We will rock you.
Boom, 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 boom. Yep, same stuff.
Closely followed by We Are the Champions.
Yeah, yeah. And then if you'll wait at the local classic rock station, you can set your watch by right at sometime around the noon hour. They're going to play old time rock and roll,
Hmm.
and and then night moves,
And
points of her own, sitting way up high.
the local station here that plays classic rock, they have a noontime call-in show where you can call in and request a song. And they don't request anything new or refreshing. They request something that they're going to play the next hour any damn way.
Yeah, or 10 minutes from now. Yeah,
Yeah, uh, I don't.
yeah. Well,
If that's what they like, more power to them. Everybody teaches own.
that's right.
As long as I got Spotify, I got like the world's biggest record collection.
We're like those two old guys on the Muppet Show. Uh, just complain about everything. I don't like it. Yeah.
I don't like change.
I don't like change.
Who am I, Waldorf or Astoria?
Yeah, you could be. Uh, yeah. Okay. There's. I'll just skip right over that. I want to say something funny, but it's not really that funny. All right. Well, that's our Lynyrd Skynyrd thing, and please, folks, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing one later on, similar on the Allman Brothers, and we're going to do one on Marshall Tucker, and there's some other things too. Got lots and lots of ideas on paper that I'd like to do.
Toilet
So
paper?
plus interviews, more and more interviews all the time. Were you going to say something?
Oh, you said you had them down on paper, and I asked, was it toilet paper?
Okay. Well,
moving right
along. Well, I'll wrap it up, and we will see you guys again next time. Rebels waving at you, and I will see you guys down the road. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And remember, always remember, and don't ever forget. Wait a minute, I forgot.
Making it back to Macon. Give me some grits, gravy, and bacon. Just a little something to tide me over. The Mama Louise and the H&H Open. She got fried chicken and pinto